welcome back to a bonus episode of Phenomena titled FANomena, Season 2, FANomena Stories, to be precise. We wrapped up Season 2, very exciting, and before we start on our journey forward into Season 3, we are going to do this FANomena episode, which is just stories that you guys have submitted that are your personal Phenomena stories, and I'm super excited to read them. Just like the scripts, I try not to read the stories before I print them out and, read them directly so that I can be as authentic in my reactions as you are for the first time hearing it, because it's my first time reading it. Before we get into this week's episode, I don't know if I mentioned, my name is Mimi Dibbs. I'm definitely a little bit sick, at least. Our lovely video editor, Merrick's, was like, yeah, I can hear it in your voice and in your breaths, because I task them with taking out, every time I breathe. So have fun taking that one out, Merrick's. Now it's not just breaths. It's like you can probably hear that I have some congestion as well. But 'tis the season, I suppose. It's going from spring to summer. Officially, but it's like June gloom in LA. Yeah, it's this weird middle ground, and I don't know. I've had this cold that's been persistent. Before we get into the substance of the episode, onto Phenomannouncements. I want to shout out this brand, because look at this shirt. Look at how cool this shirt is. It's so cool. I wish you could see the full thing, but this is what it looks like. It's really, really high quality. You can see that's all embroidered. It's beautiful. Our buddy Aman has his own clothing store called OFDARAC. So OFDARAC on Instagram, and I'll put it on the screen. I saw this at a showcase that he did in person at one of my buddies' launch parties for his song. So yeah, I saw this and I was like, I'm copping that. And I did, and I'm glad I did, because it's super vibey. Unfortunately, all you could see is this part, because I'm short. And that's just a fact of life. I'm talking about super cool and really high-end, thoughtfully crafted pieces. Highly recommend. He's great. I actually asked him if he wanted to collab on Phenomena merch, because if Phenomena merch was this dope, I'd be like, yeah, go buy it now. Right now, you can still go buy Phenomena merch, but it's just kind of the logo. It's, pretty basic, but I want to offer cooler pieces. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can do a collab. All right, without further ado, let's get into the Season 2 Phenomena stories. Yay! Okay, so this first one is from friend of the pod, Lexi, via email. The subject is, I didn't forget to send you the stories, so buckle up. I love it. Yay! Because I know she had mentioned, I'm going to send you a Phenomena story. I was like, yes, please. So I'm so glad she followed through. Yay! Dude I was seeing insanely smart. However, he had a terrible sleep issue. Think it was sleep apnea mixed with hallucinations and sleep paralysis. Oh my God. Wow. He was dealt the worst of the sleep cards, it appears. There was your typical talking in his sleep, getting up and walking around when definitely not awake. But one night it took a turn. We were both dead asleep in my bed. He wakes me up and puts his arm over me. Cute. But then it creeps up to my neck area. Stop. No. I get a little nervous because he's triple my body weight and absolutely stronger than me, so I couldn't move him even if I wanted to. That's terrifying. He starts talking in his sleep, and it sounded like he was fighting someone. Not a great sign. You definitely don't want to be his punching bag. I try to wiggle out from under him, but I can't, and then he gets aggressive and starts putting me in a headlock. I panic, and I know you're not supposed to wake a person up in this state, so I try banging on the wall for my roommate to wake up and come see what's happening. Then he wakes up and had no idea what happened. Sees I was freaked out and asked what happened. I tell him. He says he remembers he was fighting demons in his sleep and must have been doing the actions in real time to me. LOL. Lexi's like, lol. Just almost died. We didn't have many sleepovers after that. Fair. Very good point. One thing I don't know if I could put up with is a weird sleeper. John is a pretty great sleeper. I'm a pretty average sleeper. Aside from the fact that I sleep in this weird position, specifically in the mornings, I'll get into this position. My best friend Maggie calls it waiting for the bus. And it's just my legs are crossed like this. I don't know how else to describe it, but you know how so one of my legs will be like this, right? My knees, think about my knees are up and then one of my knees is to the side and my ankle is over my one knee. You know how like you're just like waiting for the bus if you were sitting down and you like put your leg, if you put your ankle on your knee, that's what I do, but laying down. It's very bizarre. It's really weird, but it's really comfortable for me. But that's like the only thing. And John and I have a king size bed now because our dog is 116 pounds and she's ginormous. She's a dragon. We wanted to make sure that she had enough, room to come sleep with us. Neither of us, he doesn't snore. John doesn't snore. I don't snore. If I do snore, maybe especially because now I'm sick, I'll probably like do like, you know what I mean? But it's nothing crazy to where we'd wake either, like we don't wake each other up, which is good. And I certainly don't know how I would feel if John decided to start like suplexing me in his sleep, like trying freaking headlock and like, what? I'm so glad that, you didn't have many sleepovers after that because he needs to get that checked out and make sure that he's not like accidentally killing someone. Because I don't think that holds up in court. I don't know. I don't think, sorry, Judge, I was asleep, is a good defense. So yeah, I'm glad you're good. And that's very similar to sleep paralysis, which I think is going to be an episode in season 3. I know, because I keep hearing about it and people being like, hey, do sleep paralysis because that's kind of a phenomenon. And it is. So, and like sleep paralysis demons, I feel like that's like always, I feel like the meme is like whenever you see something creepy, it's like, oh, that's my sleep paralysis demon. I say that, and I don't even have sleep paralysis, thank goodness. But yeah, I think we'll cover it at some point. So good segue. Little extra note here. I've also had deja vu a lot and would be curious to know more about it as I know nothing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, deja vu could be a good phenomenon to cover as well. I think like scientifically, if I'm not mistaken, it's your eyes processing something faster than your brain. So then the two aren't in sync and it feels like it's happening again or that you've seen it already because you technically have just like seconds before. It's basically like a blip in your processing of images is my understanding. Would be interesting to see what alternate theories are in terms of like whimsical or spooky or anything. Typical, you felt like you already lived through this already. Yep. It does get freaky when it's like an entire day and you don't want to deviate from what it already was, but you don't remember exactly what you did. Yeah. Ooh, that is weird. Especially if you have deja vu for that whole time. That's uncomfortable. Because yeah, you ideally obviously want to be processing things at the same time that you're seeing them. Also, my mom has a sketchy Ouija board story and a ghost tour story. I don't know if these would fall in this category. Yes, they absolutely would. Anything like haunted or ghosts, paranormal sighting, I would think would definitely constitute another Phenomena story. So send it in and we can cover it in the season 3 Phenomena episode. Yay! Thank you, Lexi. I appreciate it. This is great. All right. The next Phenomena story is from Ryan with the subject from Instagram because he sent it to me via Instagram first. And this was Froelich from high school. Yeah. One of my friends from high school. We were in like improv together and did theater together and he's awesome. He was like, yeah, I have a story. I was like, oh my God, send it. And he sent it to me via Instagram. So I was like, email it. And so he did. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just easier for me to keep track of things via email. But then at some point, I'll just like copy and paste it into a Word doc. Anywho, all right, I actually do have a little experience of my own. Love it. My mom's oldest brother, Adkins Taylor, passed away in the early 90s. Oh. He was a big-time choreographer in Hollywood. Unfortunately, he ended up catching HIV. No. He would always play little pranks on me when he was sick. And as a toddler, it used to scare me because he was so skinny. But I knew that I loved him, and I used to call him Lion because he let his fro grow out. Oh, I love that. I would go, Uncle Adkins and his hair, roar. That's so cute. And my uncle's so mad, and he had my godfather, Kenny, fix his hair up. Unfortunately, he passed away not too long after this. Oh, my family had a wake, and obviously my mother, godfather, and grandmother were inconsolable during it. But for whatever reason, I kept staring out the window at this tree outside. My grandma was crying, but through her tears, she said, Ryan, what are you looking at? And apparently I responded, Uncle Atkins, he's in that tree outside. He wants you all not to be sad. Whoa. Whoa, that's crazy. What if his spirit, like before reincarnating, was like briefly, or like wherever the middle ground between reincarnation is like maybe you're part of nature? That's wild. Or maybe he like chose that medium to speak to you through. Interesting. That's so sweet. I wonder if like the tree also was like big and bushy, so maybe it reminded you of the lion. I love this. That's so sweet that it was like, hey, don't be sad. Aw, R.I.P. I'm glad that, you guys were able to form some fun memories while he was still alive. So thank you for sharing that, Ryan. That's lovely. And it very much goes kind of along with what I said whenever I pass away, which will hopefully be many years down the line. I want to be cremated and then put into like a tree pod with soil and like have the cremated ashes like be the fertilizer for the soil with the tree pod. And I want to come back as a tree so that people can come see me. And I'll be like Grandmother Willow. And people can come, instead of looking at like a gravestone, they could be like, she's a tree. Or like, that tree that commemorates me. So there you go. Maybe Uncle Atkins also like realized the power of utilizing nature and the tree as a channel to get through to you. Wow. Amazing. This next story is from Psycor85. Yay, Ben! This is Ben from YouTube. He's a friend of the pod, and he's great. He has been an avid supporter and commenter on a lot of the episodes that we've posted, which has helped so much with growth. Thank you so much, Ben. You are awesome. You're the bee's knees. Psycor also has his own YouTube channel where he like does playthroughs of like older video games, and they're super cool and vintage and awesome. So go check out his channel. I think it's Benevolent Psycor. I don't know. If you look up Psycor85, you should be able to find it. But he commented on episode 6 of season 2 with something that like looks like it was like a personal story. So I was like, oh my God, I'm saving this for the Phenomena episode. And here it is. Now we're at the Phenomena episode. So yay. Okay, so the comment reads, although somewhat different, any idea what 4 silver white glowing shapeshifters that communicate telepathically would be called? What? I don't recall if I'd mentioned that during the Changeling episode, but yeah, when I was like 7, I'd seen those in the upstairs restroom of the townhouse my family was living in back in the early 90s. What? I had awoken and needed to use the restroom, and those glowing shapeshifters were in there and told me in my mind that the faces they were showing were of people who would betray me. However, I was tired and needed to use the restroom. So I closed the door to the upstairs restroom and went to the... Nice. I love that. You're just like, I'm too tired for this. Like, I don't want to see the people betray me. I don't care. Just close the door on them. Closed the door to the upstairs restroom, went to the downstairs restroom, and just stayed there until the sun was out. Wait, that's like... So you like were that scared that you... Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's terrifying. If I had creepy glowing shapeshifters be like, I'm going to show you the faces of people that are betraying you or will betray you, I'd be like, I'm too high for this. Quite possibly that would be my answer, because that checks out. I'm so glad that you made it out of that bathroom, Ben, and that you are safe and sound now. Phew! And that hopefully you did not see the glowing shapeshifters ever again. But I don't know what silver white glowing shapeshifters that communicate telepathically would be called. If that sounds like anything anyone knows, please comment it, because I don't know, but maybe it has a name. Who knows? Kind of sounds like the Nunehi in the Appalachian Whistles episode, so good call, good call. All right, this next story is from Brit Shear 85. This was also a comment on episode 6 of season 2, the Appalachian Whistles episode, which was written by our lovely video editor, Merrick. So, Merrick, you got a lot of awesome Phenomena stories on the episode that you wrote for us, so well done. High five. We live in Alabama, and we are in the Appalachian Mountains. Ooh, where my mom lives, she owns 3 acres where she built her house, and the previous owners said that a lot of Native American artifacts were found in that area, and that just was on my mother's property. They filled up 5-gallon buckets with arrowheads. Wow, that's a lot of arrowheads. There are tons of natural springs in this horseshoe-shaped little mountain ridge that we live in. We've always had crazy experiences our whole life. Whoa. Is it because of the Appalachian Whistles? I lived with my mom for a few years after I got divorced. And then when I got my apartment, she was mad that I was leaving. And she said, you're leaving me with all these bullcrap. When I moved, like all the like haunted, weird, spooky stuff. When I moved to my apartment, I didn't have too many experiences. Yet now I have a whistler that whistles every night. And I just tell it to shut up. LOL. Oh, wow. I wonder if it's as a result of the weird, like, Native American artifacts that were found in the area around where your mom built her house. That's wild. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry that you have a whistler in the middle of the night. That sounds horrible. I feel like that would wake me up. For what? Just to whistle? I'd be like, I'm not going to leave. This is a house. It's not like you're, like, prowling around in, like, the actual woods, but I don't know. Maybe they're picky about that specific area. Or maybe the house is built on like a burial site or something. I don't know. Wild. Thanks for sharing, though. All right. And last but not least, our last Phenomena story of the Phenomena episode of season 2 is from friend of the pod, Angel. Yay! Angel, I think, is actually going to also help write one of the guest written scripts in season 3. So, TBD. Very exciting. But in the meantime, I was like, you need to share. They told me that they had a bunch of stuff to share that was like Phenomena related. And I was like, dope, send it over. So this is one of the stories. The 2014 barn experience. Interesting. It was a summer night and my core friends and I were out at my farm. I love that you just have a farm. Just low key. Cool. My mom grew up on a farm, actually. Fun fact. William, Sadie, Jordan, and me, we watched a horror film called Dark Skies and had fun joking during it. And a few actual scary parts got us. Nice. As scary movies should. But the event didn't happen till later that night when we had gone out and disturbed the goats. No, not the goats. We turned on the barn light and shooed some of the goats out to kind of join in our hangout. The herd eventually followed William and Sadie out into the nearest pasture, and Jordan and I were left to talk about life and joke. Being one of my closest and core friends to this day, it still is a weird honor to share this experience with him because we both saw it, a bright star out in the night that started to quickly become not only brighter, but closer. Thoughts raced through me. Like, could it be a helicopter out in the middle of a South Dakota farmland? Angela, I didn't know you were from South Dakota. Awesome. Cool. That makes sense with the farmland, I guess. I don't know. Could it be a meteor or a comet? Which we had seen on my birthday that year. So that might make sense. To this day, I did not know what it was. It grew nearly as big as the barn light and shined down on both of us intensely for maybe at most 3 seconds, but it felt like forever. The fear I experienced in that moment was somewhere between falling and having a car come at you head on. Ooh. As quickly as it had come, it diminished and retreated. Just how it had gradually grown brighter, it left at twice the speed, but never turned around or anything. Just a bright light that came, saw us, and left. That's weird. That feels like they came and shone their flashlight. By they, I mean aliens, because obviously, hello. I'm getting alien vibes from this. We ran up to Sadie and William, telling them what we saw. They said they didn't see anything, but also weren't looking back this way either. That's weird. If it was that bright, wouldn't you think like they might think or like see something or like, I don't know. If it's that bright, like, wouldn't you see it lighting up and then you'd turn around? Interesting. Or unless you guys were the only ones that were able to see it. Like, it happened just to you guys. That's crazy. They were dating at the time, and we suspected they were making out in the goat-filled field. Nice. What a romantic place to make out. I love it. When we told them the story, William basically said, Canalians are ready to abduct someone, but once they saw it was you, they immediately turned their tails and left. Yeah, I was going to say, like, it literally it feels like the aliens were like, oh, potential people? Nah, no. We'll let them stay on Earth. And then turned around and left. Or maybe they were, like, looking for someone and they thought one of y'all looked like the alien they lost. Who knows? Since Jordan and I are a chaotic duo similar to Timon and Pumbaa, as well as Mike and Sully, oh, I love it. And really just throw a dart at any silly duo and you'd get the picture of why the Canalians didn't want us. Facts. They were like, oh my God, wait, have you seen the videos of people being like, if I get abducted, it's like, oh my God, you like chose me. Oh my God, thank you so much. Wait, can you stop here? Can we stop by 7-Eleven? I really want a 7-Eleven Slurpee, please. Ugh, can you loosen these? These are bothering me. I feel like that's literally, my abductor would probably drop me off if I got abducted. He'd be like, stop talking. So I feel you. I feel like they'd probably be like, oh my God, can you guys please? Hey, that's on them. I feel like maybe, what if they did abduct you and then they put you right back down and did a little Men in Black thing and then you just, forgot. Maybe that's what the light was. Side note, Dark Skies is an alien horror movie, and at some point we made a running joke where Canada was on the moon and all the aliens were just Canalians. Canalians! I love it! Yes. That was actually John. John is from Canada. John, my fiance, is from Canada. And his tag was Canalian for something. I forgot what it was. It was TikTok or something. I forgot. But because he was a legal alien with a green card until he recently got his citizenship. Woo! Citizenship. I say woo because I now have my citizenship and he does as well. So whenever we have kids, I'm moving to Vancouver because I refuse to be billed for creating human life. I feel like that's where I draw the line at, like, that's where things get a little too post-apocalyptic for me. I just can't do it. I can't justify getting billed for literally creating life. Hello. TLDR, he is a Canadian and always will be, even though he's a citizen now. Thank you so much. Ooh, as far as a Pokepic, I was thinking that I was gonna pick one after I heard all of these instances to see if there was like one that stuck out to me. Ooh, okay. My Pokepic for this one is gonna be Mana. And I say that because, so it eats dreams and releases mist. The mist is pink, and when it's eating a good dream, it's pink when it's eating a good dream and black when it's eating a nightmare. Ooh, I kind of love that. People whose dreams are eaten by them forget what the dreams have been about. Ooh, so now every time if I ever forget a dream, I'm gonna blame it on Mana. Mana's really cute. It kind of looks like a little elephant, and it's like a sleep Pokemon. So that reminded me of the sleep story by Lexi. So there you have it. That is the season 2 Phenomena stories. Thank you again for writing in your personal experiences. Next week, we are going to be off. We're going to take a little break between seasons, and then we'll be back with season 3. So be sure to subscribe, follow, like. We have a Patreon that is linked in the YouTube links section, in the About Us section, and you can join the free Patreon. We also have a $2 tier and a $5 tier if you'd like to support. And then on the Patreon, you get access to the Discord. I have the Discord link pinned at the top of the Patreon, so come hang. I'm pretty sure I shouted out Tim, our newest Patreon member. Yay, Tim! Tim is awesome because he's like active in the Discord as well. And when we talk about the Pokepics especially. So it's super fun. I love it. I love the community that we're building, especially with other people that like Pokemon as much as we do. As always, thank you so much for joining. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Stay vigilant. I'll see you I won't see you next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.